Hello and welcome to this video for the OR6OS platform. In previous videos on sensors, we've covered configuration and high-level terminology and walked through some of the general applications and how it would actually be viewed and used on the matrix. This video serves as an additional piece that allows you to learn a little bit more about the forensic side of it, which is searching for events, as well as the actual configuration of notifications. So we're going to start with the forensic side and searching for events. So along the top of the screen, I'm going to locate forensics and I will select that. And what you'll see here is I'm under the basic events section, and along the top of the screen to the far left where you see all the different items you can search through. You've got devices, device groups, alarm groups, barriers, identities, and peripherals. You'll see sensors here at the very end. If I select sensors, then I can confirm my organization. I can select my sensor, and then I can search for the actual code. So for example, I can search for outside of the range, which would mean it exceeded either the upper or lower threshold. And then I also can search when that actual notification or alarm basically ended, right? Which is the outside range end. And so I can sit here and say outside range, and I could look up a set of times. So we'll say in the last 31 days, and then we will hit search. What you'll see here is a list of all of the events that fit that. If I click on this, it will take me to the matrix and actually show me that gauge. Now, if I have put any of these actual sensors into an adjacency group with other devices, I could see other things such as the video that is associated to a certain area that is adjacent or has been associated to these actual sensors. Now, let's jump over and talk about notifications and look at the configuration of the notification so that you can be alerted when a data point or any type of value exceeds the upper or lower thresholds. To do that, you'll go to the very top of the screen where you see configuration. We'll select that. Along the left side of the screen, you will see notifications, which we will click on, and then we will see our notifications. Upper right corner, just as you've created any previous notifications, you'll hit Add Notification Rule. Once I do that, I will be able to actually confirm the organization this is going under. We're going to put this as a training notification. You can add a description if needed, and then we will also go down here to where the filter is. The first one of these filters down here is the alarm group active filter. What this means is if alarm groups are used and the actual things that are contained within this notification are part of an alarm group, then the armed state or the alert state of that group will decide whether this notification or events from those devices are sent. So for example, if I say, check that box, leave it as true, as in it's active, then it means that the alert state of this alarm group has to be armed for notifications to be sent for the depending devices or things within this actual notification. Once we do that, we will hit next. And this is where you're going to select the actual notification, the actual events you want to be notified of. Now, there are a wide range of different things here. Now, there are the actual sensor specific ones. So you'll see over here, outside range or range ended over here at the very bottom. And then, but you also have the ability to do things such as Modbus connect or disconnect. I could also do things such as the device connect or disconnect. Now, if I hit next, I will actually go in and select the site, alarm groups, devices, or sensors. So for this example, we're going to go to sensor. We've got the actual sensors that are associated. And then we also have the devices if we needed to go in here and set up a notification, for example, for the actual A9210 to show that it was disconnected. So I could locate that A9210. We'll use the search box. And we'll grab that A9210, hit next. Then we're going to select from the users who actually needs to be notified of the events. Once you select somebody, you will simply hit next. And you will confirm all of your settings and hit save. Once you do that, your notification for sensors has been set up. The last aspect I do want to cover in this is the users around sensors. Now, the most important thing is I highly recommend going to our documentations page, and on the reference section under sensors, you will go to the very bottom and you'll see this little note that says authorization is performed on individual sensors or parent resources such as the device. If I click on this, this will walk through the general authorization and how the user scopes can affect who has access to what sensors. This is an important piece that I highly recommend you spend a little bit of time fully understanding this. Now, what this looks like in the platform is if I navigate back and I go over to users, I will select on a user, and then if you scroll down, you will see all of the different types of permissions here. Now, I could go in and add the device permissions for the A9210, for example, and then somebody would get the cascading access to the sensors attached to it. Or I could control the sensor permissions as well. So I could just add permissions to the sensors. So I simply could come down here, select add permissions, select the two individual sensors that are set up on this site. And I could say I want to see events and I want to be able to stream the actual data in the matrix and hit save. Now that user, you can see down there, does have permissions for those sensors. Again, this can be set up at the site or the device level as well, which you see up here. If you have any questions around the users, please reach out to us, or again, view some of the documentation that we do have on our webpage. Thank you for watching this brief tutorial.